Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
And here we are with another episode.
Give us another round.
Give us another round.
On the house.
It's the only kind of rounds we can afford.
Yeah, because golf is expensive too. That's the only other thing that comes in rounds,
that's the only thing I can think of.
What else comes in rounds? I mean,
No.
other than those songs that you sing in rounds, but that's not coming in rounds.
Me right round. I was listening to that song the other day. It was good.
It's a classic.
It is a classic. How you been?
Grand.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I've been grand too. Do you want to start things out?
No, you go ahead. Don't kick
Oh,
the mic.
sorry. Just
Can't
kidding.
take him anywhere.
I'm gonna have you start.
Okay. So, here's what happened.
Wow, that was kind of a bossy command decision. I've been informed lately that my diva behavior, it's getting kind of out of control.
Oh, you're calling it diva behavior now? We had another name for it.
Anyway, continue.
So, my brother is relaying to me a conversation that he overheard between his daughters.
Oh dear.
Hannah says, I need to get a birthday present for Kate.
That's a little early, but okay.
Whatever.
I know, that's what I'm like. I like the planning ahead.
Rachel says, roller skates? And Hannah says, no, different Kate. So, of course, that led to us talking about the incident.
Go back a few episodes. Maybe a year? Has it been? How long? Yeah.
I'm sure we've brought it up.
Oh, no, I know we
couple of
talked
times.
about it, yeah.
We showed you the picture, but I brought up the picture, and Hannah was like, I don't think I've seen this picture. And so I brought up the picture, and she says, so we're all sitting outside having a lovely time, and she's looking at the picture, and she says to my brother, how old were you here? And he's like, I don't know, 6 or 7. And she says, how old are you now? And he says 47. She looks at me.
And you're 21, I hope,
No,
in this story.
she says, this happened 40 years ago and you're still mad? Yes, I am, as a matter of fact.
No one holds a grudge like us.
Like a candy holding baby.
So that reminds me, because I don't know if you've seen it yet. I haven't been on the Book of Face today.
Oh.
But one of your friends, you had posted a picture,
Oh.
and he's like, and
I said, she's still just that crazy. And he said, you or the dog.
Kate says she's not at liberty to say, to which I promptly reply, I'm always at liberty to say, so whatever you want to know, just ask.
Oh, the tales that would come out.
For a price. I'm going to put a price on it now.
Yeah.
Remind me to put an addendum on that Facebook post.
But only if.
I was very snarky last night. I don't know what was going on. It was time for me to go to bed. Is what was going on.
The family was all together earlier today, and Will was being particularly
Willful.
snarky. And he says to me, or no, he says, he's sitting next to me,
Right.
and he sees Liz and says, oh, look, it's the best aunt in the world. So my Aunt Rita was there, and she's like,
It's me!
she's like, when did he get so sassy? It's like, I know.
It happens around puberty.
All
Because
of
my
them,
nephew is going through a
I'm telling
spell
you,
right now.
they grow up and they get
Yeah,
sassy. It's in the genes, really. I mean,
It's
if
in
you
the
think about it.
genes, and then like
All that
just
other
think
stuff.
that the transition to
Like it's not
puberty.
Like it's not
It
hard
doesn't
enough.
help.
Yeah,
Right?
it's all the stuff, just all the stuff.
Right. Well, and my nephew's interesting because he's like biting at the bit to be a teenager, and I just don't remember being that way. Like I wasn't.
I don't think I was.
I don't think so either.
How old is he?
He's 12, but 13's around the river bend. I don't like to
And-
think about it.
All I can say is, slow down, kids, because it's going to be over in a minute, and you're going to miss it.
It is. And
Parts
then you're
of
going to be adulting, and then it's just horrid.
So
Speaking of adulting.
I hand my nephew a graduation card, and he's like, oh, and I said, it contains a stern warning.
Stop right now.
Yeah, basically it was like, listen, you have a very short window of opportunity right now to live
So
your life.
enjoy it.
So just don't waste it like some people we know did. And because you don't get that back. There's like
No.
5 years in there, 5 to 7 years that you just live a different life.
Right, and enjoy it. And
So I've been told.
I was gonna say, I think we live life like we're internally that
We are.
age. We are.
Mhm.
So that is funny, but I think I already told this story that because I went back to in person for a hot minute this year, and I have a student that I've worked with since he was 7.
Oh, right.
And he's like, you never change. Like, you just don't
That's
change.
what people
You've
say
been the
about my
same.
mom. You're like Dick Clark.
There you go. And he's like, how do you never change? And I'm like, well, it's surprised what you can get for a slightly used soul.
It's true.
Just saying.
Did you invite him to watch that movie,
Which movie?
Death Becomes Her?
No, but he would, that particular
And then you
student
could
probably would like.
You could tell him, I have a vial at home too.
Well, it's scary though, because I'm like, the day that they do tell me I'm getting older, it's going to be an ugly day. I tell you what.
Don't be around for that. Anybody.
Duck and cover.
Because, yeah, that will be ugly. Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not
no,
talking
I
about
don't
it.
like it.
I don't like it at all. Hello, dog.
Hello, dog. So, the other story that I have,
Mm-hmm.
one of the other. So, remember back during election season, I put a sticker.
Tried to put all that ugliness behind me, but
I put
okay.
a sticker on my mom's car that said Waldorf and Statler 2020.
Good for you.
And of course, she didn't notice for a while, and then she noticed and was like, who's that? Well, she finally had somebody notice it who knew who Waldorf and Statler were, and heavily agreed that they should have run. And I was so happy for her.
So,
And myself.
speaking of Statler and Waldorf, if you have not checked out, they did a fantastic skit on SNL about
Oh,
2
yeah.
weeks ago. That's just hilarious, and you must watch it. That's
Yes,
all.
you should.
Gave me a good tee-hee.
If that's not an endorsement, I don't know what
That's
is.
right. I don't laugh at everything. Well,
No licking.
yeah, the dog is,
She thinks she's on the show, but it's cropped. Sorry.
yeah. But I like that she sets herself like right in the middle of us these days. while we
Whatever, she's
record.
on your side.
It doesn't mean anything. She tries to eat me literally every time I come in the door.
She's a licker, what can I say?
We had a stalker. That was creepy. You missed it.
I
Like
saw
there was
it.
an eyeball. Just an
Oh, just an-
eyeball.
Oh, woo woo! Wow, don't you guys wish you were here for real?
Anywho.
Anywho. So, Hubs and I went to Jackson Hole last week,
Oh, that's right.
and it was lovely.
That's good.
We did notice that you hear more birds chirping in our backyard than, out in the mountains. But nonetheless, I didn't see a bear. I was really disappointed.
Oh, that's why you've been worried about bears. Wanting to see a bear. Okay,
I
that
want
makes
to see
sense
the bear.
now.
We did see a fox cross the street, so woo! However, we enjoyed all of the dogs that were there.
That's
Lots of
nice.
people
Did you
had
take
their
your
dogs.
dogs?
We did.
No.
We did
All right.
not.
It's fine.
I just want a family vacation.
He's like our own little Gelman.
I need you to look at the camera.
Poor Joe. You probably didn't hear that, but he got after us, essentially.
It's not the first time. I had a Facebook memory, and I'm so sad that we weren't more specific about it.
We were in Cottonwood Heights. if
I
that
know, so
helps.
that had to be either at Emily's house, because you were out of your condo by
yeah,
that point.
yeah, we wouldn't have been there.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
We were
but
driving the hubs
we
nuts.
had a good
and-
time, poor Joe. Well, speaking of poor Joe,
Oh yes, back to your
we're,
trip.
we're hanging out in the park at Jackson Hole. Now, again, we're running into lots of dogs and kids, right? And so, of course, I'm talking to the
Just can't
kids.
get away from them. They're
Well,
everywhere.
We go up to the corner, and so they have like the antler arch. You've seen
Right.
pictures of, I'm sure. By the way, it turns out that I forgot elk shed their antlers.
Right. Yes.
So that's why they have all those antlers for that. Because
Okay.
at first I was like,
Poaching.
listen, Scooter.
Now he's giving us cue cards.
Oh,
Gosh.
we should make him come in here and talk. Anyway,
No.
so
He needs to dress up a bit.
we.
Because we're so formal.
Right? So anyway, we come up to the corner.
The dog shoved itself in the back corner
And there's
now.
she did. There's a family with like a Bernese mountain dog / poodle,
Right.
and it's young and big. And then the other woman has a Bernese something else, and so they're visiting, and we're kind of attaching ourselves to this conversation because dogs and so the family they leave. And the woman is sitting there with her dog. And so I'm asking her questions about the dog. And then I noticed that there's a kid behind her. And so I look at the kid and I said, "Don't worry, we think you're cool too." And he's like, "Okay." And I said, "I mean, we love the dog, but I mean, if I was going to steal the dog, I would steal you too." And the look on the poor woman's face. And her husband's standing there, and Joe says, "We're going to go get ice cream now. I'll work on the restraining order." I was like, "I'm sorry." So that kid's probably
Wow.
having nightmares.
So it's funny that you should say that because last night I made my first venture out into the mall. It was
Why?
my first, because I could and I like to shop.
At the mall.
At the mall.
Speaking
like-
of staying in your 20s.
I like to have, things I can pick up and buy. That's great.
The mall?
It's not the mall you remember. It wasn't the mall I remembered, let's be honest.
I mean, there's truth to that.
No, but I was just noticing in general, and I don't know if it's because of the pandemic, like, people were friendly. Like,
Really?
customers, other people shopping, other
Everyone's just
store
so happy
clerks.
to see people.
Right, it was like Disneyland level, like when you go and stand in line and just start talking to
Hey,
people.
Which
and
mall did you go to? Was it like an Oasis mall?
Well, no. I'm not saying which mall. I have stalkers.
I tell you what. Anyway,
Anywho,
everyone's friendly at the mall. That
it was
is a
just
change.
yeah, because it was like you would pick something up and be looking at it, and somebody would be like, "Hey, I like that. That's really cool," and you're just like, "Yeah, it is."
I know that's why I'm holding it.
Right, but yeah, it was a different
Interesting.
experience. So yeah, and they still had a queue at some stores where you had to wait, and that was
Oh,
fine.
right, right.
But it wasn't like a long. It
Right.
was that was not Disneyland.
So it balances out.
Right. So
Wow.
speaking of Disneyland,
Oh.
Avengers Campus is opening next month. This is the only thing, because I know it's going to make us mad to an
Right.
extent, because actors are going to be there. So like when Galaxy's Edge opened for Star Wars, we had a Mark Hamill and a Harrison Ford and a Billy D. Williams, and I'm like, okay, so Spider-Man, there's a new ride, so Tom Holland will be there. I feel like that's a safe bet.
But like on opening day?
Yeah, they come for opening ceremony and do
Yeah,
a
I
whole
guess
opening
what? So
ceremony.
will the whole world.
But we could be there.
in the very back, behind the whole world.
Gosh, she's such a Debbie Downer.
I'm just
I want to
saying.
go stalk some celebrities, and she's talking about how we're going to be in the back. Ha! Like we'd ever be in the back.
I'm just saying, if we're going to stalk some celebrities, we should do it right.
I could get us in. I'm already plotting as we speak.
I'm
I just don't want any evidence. Shh, they don't know the plan.
You know, there's a plan. Wow.
So yeah, but
Okay.
we'll go back there eventually.
Eventually.
When I don't feel like I have to have a thing of sanitary wipes that I wipe down all the handlebars that I on the rides
like,
I
I
sit
mean,
in.
If you think about it, we probably should have been doing that all along.
Right.
But now more so because, yeah, I was amazed at how many people were, and this was just Californians, I guess, because it was only open to them for a little while, right?
Right. Yes,
And-
it's not opening statewide till next
No.
week. The only reason I know is because, of course, I'm being bombarded with emails
Of
from
course.
travels and like, oh, hey, come back.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised at how many people were paying the exorbitant fee to enter when not even all the rides were open. They were
Right.
that desperate
Right.
to be in Disneyland, and Flurkin even said she would do it.
Really?
Yeah, but she.
That's something.
Although
because
she said that when
I-
she couldn't because she's not living in
Right.
California, so
Right.
I don't know. Just kidding. But it a surprise to me. I guess everybody just has that thing that they're clinging on to that. Oh, I
mean,
can do that again. Life
yeah.
is back to normal.
But I got a pretty good addiction, and if I'm like maybe 2022.
I know. I was talking to Hubs about where we're gonna go on vacation this year, and I'm like, international's probably out, huh? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, did you see on the news, Memorial Day weekend, they were showing everyone at the national parks?
Oh.
There's like bazillions of people, and I said, well, that doesn't look fun at all.
No.
I don't
is
want
it
to go with
Zions?
everybody. Yeah.
Because before they had certain amounts of places that you could come in, and now
Mhm.
everybody's allowed.
It was this huge line of cars,
But-
and then even in the inside, they're showing, and it's just people everywhere.
So they're still honoring those tickets though. So it's like a ticketed event. So if you had those before they announced it open, you got first. You get to
Oh
go
my
in
gosh.
first to hike. But I'm like,
But still, you get to go in with 5 billion
I
other
know.
people,
I'm like, yeah.
No thanks.
Move fast, people.
right? Like,
you want
yeah.
to get in first.
That didn't look,
Hike those trails.
didn't look fun to me at all.
No, it doesn't.
And I
Well,
wasn't even thinking about the hiking part.
Yeah, it's just hot down there, and then yeah.
I mean, we had to bring
So
the fan
many
into
people.
here for crying out loud.
No, what is it today? Like 78, 79? We're
think-
dying.
It's hot.
When triple digits come, we're gonna be in trouble.
I mean,
I don't-
75 is becoming more of my limit these days.
I'm very similar. Like, yeah.
Oh, speaking of getting older, limits changing, I had to order my very first pair of prescription glasses.
Did you? But actually, that's a big deal because she's gone so
I've
long.
never had them.
Like, I'm to the point of saying, like, I tell her all the time, "Are you sure you can see?"
I was sitting at church with my nephew, and he brings up the hymn book on his iPhone,
Right.
and he's like, "Here, just use this." And I said, "I can't read that." So the next thing I know, he's elbowing me. "Can you read it now?" And it's just this giant print. Yes, I can. It's a super mild prescription,
Well, that's good.
but I'm eager to see, because I read things wrong a lot because I'm kind of guessing based on what
Well,
it looks like.
you know
in
how
that
I am
fuzzy-
without the readers. Like, I'm thinking 6s or 8s, and
Oh yeah, no, but it's worse than that.
Oh,
even.
dear.
Yeah, sometimes it's. I mean, yeah, I'll read a sentence in the book and think that's weird, and then I look at it again. Oh, that's not what it said. Maybe I should get glasses. But they also have the blue light thing in them, so that
Right.
when I wear them to work, so it's double. Like, part of me was thinking, okay, maybe I can see better, and then part of me is like, maybe I won't get terrible headaches at work.
Well, I think my favorite story this year for me was teaching online and sharing my screen, and I'm typing something, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly, that hand raise function comes up. And I'm like, oh, hey, so and so, what's wrong? And this is happening like this month, actually. It's still May, right? And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, Mr. Vincent, that word you typed, it's not even a word. And because they've been with me all year, I think you need to put on your reading glasses. But he was right, though, because I didn't
really
catch it,
funny.
and that was why, because I'm just typing.
Looks
and,
good enough to me.
Yeah. Tra-la-la.
Well, it's like those, so you know how there's those posts where it says intelligent people can read words that have the right letters but aren't necessarily in the right order, right? So sometimes I feel like it's kind of like that.
I do too.
But
a lot of the times.
It's
but
not. It's not like that. But here's the thing that scares me. The ophthalmologist said that people who come in the previous 5 years,
Okay.
5 to 7 years that I've come in, that's the normal. But then people who wait until my stage in life, tend to just drop off really fast. So now I'm nervous that I'm going to be blind soon. I mean, probably not, but
No.
I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's going to get worse faster, because I really did feel like overnight it was.
Like this.
Yeah.
And seeing that's how I feel with my contacts in. I'm hesitant to get bifocals in my contacts. I don't know how I feel about that.
When did you get your eyes checked the last time?
Last year. I haven't done it yet this year for my yearly checkup quite yet. And he's like, you're going to get sick of those. This is my optometrist. You're going to get sick of those reading glasses. And I'm like, we'll see. Well, the only thing I don't like about the bifocals in the contacts is because apparently you use them when you look down.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, great. So every time I look down,
Yeah.
and
So
if I look down at my dashboard,
right.
Just saying.
That's a good point. The ones I'm getting they're not transition lenses. Oh, you know what? Okay, forget that story. I have a better story.
That's good. Because I was
Nobody
just
cares.
thinking, we're going kind of south here, talking about our
Nobody
eyes
cares
and-
what kind of glasses I'm getting. However, I will tell you that my niece Kylie, and apparently this is a thing now,
Right.
she's wearing these glasses that are these thin rims, and they're the 80s dad glasses.
I've seen
And
those.
we were,
In fact, I was really bad when we were watching Tad Hamilton last, and
Mhm.
Topher Grace had the thin. I need new frames. Those are still my same frames that I use.
they're still
So
not
anyway.
as bad as these.
Oh dear.
They're bad. And so, but then I'm watching the Friends reunion, and Jennifer Aniston is wearing some like that. And I was like, okay, no, don't make that cool, because basically, so we were teasing Kylie today, those are serial killer glasses. So my aunt was like, I've been watching a lot of that IDTV, and
I thought she was gonna be like, been watching a lot of Dexter.
yeah, those are totally serial killer glasses. So then she's trying to defend them by telling me that this schoolmate of hers has the glasses, and he wouldn't hurt a fly. And I said, oh, really? And she goes, well...
That's what they want you to
no,
think.
she says, well, actually, he would. And then she goes on to basically say he's the worst in the group and the one you would expect it from the most. My point has been made. Thank you. The serial killer glasses. / if you want to be nice about it, then you call them the 80s dad glasses.
Right.
But I just can't. So half the time I'm like, I can't take you seriously in those glasses. I just can't.
It reminds me when the 50s, 60s thick frames came back into style, which I like actually.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
But I don't mind them at all. But yeah, when they
But
were
these
like
are like, they have
everywhere.
the almost the aviator shape, but then they've got like the bar at the top.
Oh yeah.
They're just, no, let's not
I think
do
it's
that.
because when you live through a trend, you're like, you don't want it to come back. Some things you don't
But
want.
here's the
It's like the mullets. The mullets.
But I think for the glasses, it's because it was our parents.
Oh,
And then it didn't come
yeah.
back until now.
now.
And it's like, that wasn't a trend for us. That was something we thought was dorky then.
And
now
we still
y'all,
do now.
Yes, that hasn't changed. But now, I guess I didn't feel like I wouldn't have called them serial killer glasses in the 80s, but I
Right.
do now call them that because I've seen enough documentaries.
To know what serial killers look like.
That is correct. They wear those glasses. They might have to take a test before they get them even. I don't know. Some kind of serial killer
Do
competency
you have
test.
enough killer tendencies? A or B?
Are you borderline psychotic? Because otherwise, no. You
These
can't
are
have
not the
these.
glasses for you.
So careful, Kylie. Sheesh.
Well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think I have. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Nope.
All right. I think we can wrap it up on that.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Another round next time.
Yes, next round's on you.
That's right. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.